What's up? It's Pete here. Today we're in the shop. We're going to be taking a look at my BMX bike. A few weeks ago I was on Reddit and I posted a quick clip of this manual to drop. And a guy mentioned that my bike looked kind of mid-school and was kind of interested in a bike check on it. So today we're going to go ahead and drop into that and give you the full rundown on what I'm riding and why I'm riding it, because it is a little different than your average BMX bike today. And that's because I'm a 43-year-old mid-school rider who can't do all of the wild and crazy tricks that I once was able to do. So now I'm trying to transition a little more into tech riding and just maybe boosting some airs. It's hard on my old man knees when I crash doing big tricks on box jumps and stuff. So try to take it easy and not blow myself out so I can continue to ride. With that, this bike is set up on a Haro SD frame. This is the Dennis Anderson signature frame. It's the V3. I went with a 20.75 top tube, so it's not too long, not too short, just about right for me at my 5'9.5" stature. The bike, it's got a pretty short back end and a 75-degree head tube angle, which has actually helped me learn how to do little nose presses. I've struggled with those over the years, and I've always been scared to try them because stepping forward and landing on my bad knee. But I've also been able to learn nose picks due to this bike having a front brake. So this is the moss gray colorway on there. The V3 is available in 3 colorways. It's got black, gloss, raw, and then this awesome moss gray. And I love the moss gray, so awesome job on that, Haro. So I'm running the Odyssey F25 forks mostly because they have a brake mount and I wanted to run front brakes on this bike. My buddy Josh had a bike, he has an extra bike with a front brake on it, and I played with it and it was super fun, so I went ahead and put one on my bike, and now I'm having a blast learning front brake tricks, nose picks. It's taken me 30 years to learn how to do them, and now I finally understand what people mean when they say you have to wait on them. Like, you just sit there and wait for the back end to rock in. Sounds stupid until you feel it. I'm running classic S&M handlebars, S&M Slams on this bike. I need to upgrade them to a new pair of Slams. These ones are probably 10, 12 years old themselves. I've been riding them forever. I've got a profile racing stem. I believe it's a 60mm stem. I've had it on the bike forever. It's got tie bolts. Then we're rocking Haro Team grips. And then for those front brake levers on there, I've got Tech 77s. You can't go wrong with the Tech 77. Throw a wrench on there, give them just a little bit of a bend. It's the best brake lever you will ever find in the world. Front brake on the bike is the Odyssey 2.5 Evo. Now that tires are big and fat, I needed to get a new brake that would clear that. And it comes set up so you can run front or rear, and that works well for me. Keeping with the old mid-school feel on the bike, I've got the Comp 990 brake on the rear. One of these days I might upgrade it since the rims and tires are getting wider, but as for right now, it's still working on there pretty good. I do need to get some new brake pads, which are also getting harder to find with the old post mount, so I may be moving to an Odyssey Evo on the back as well. The front wheel on the bike is also about as old as most of the kids at the skate park. It's an old GSport front wheel. It's got an Odyssey 7KA rim on there, and it's been holding up forever. It's a little bit heavy, and the only reason I'm running it is because I couldn't use brakes on the old Deviant rim that I had on the other bike, and I haven't upgraded to a new lighter wheel because I'm cheap. So come buy a bike from me so I can buy more wheels. The bike is set up with profile racing cranks, 170s I believe. I switched down to 170s years ago just because I've been running 172.5s on my road bikes, or 170s and 175s on the mountain bike. So I just felt like I didn't really need that long of a pedal stroke because I'm not racing. I'm not trying to generate a lot of speed. Typically on the BMX bike, it's just dropping into a ramp and pumping for speed. So just going a little bit shorter, save a little bit more weight. It used to be a bit of a weight weenie, so that's why the cranks have tie bolts. The stem has tie bolts. And yeah, there's not as much tie on my bike as there used to be because that stuff's expensive. This bike is set up with a Haro tripod seat and a tripod Lineage seat post, the fluted one. So I've got a nice classic look on there. So I've got this bike set up with a Profile Racing Z coaster on the back so I can have the feel of a cassette and the feel of a free coaster when I want to go backwards. It's taken a while to get used to this thing, and I'm still struggling with it disengaging when I don't want it to, and sometimes engaging when I don't want it to. I'm not going to give this thing the best review because it sucks. But it costs a lot of money, so I'm going to keep using it until I get used to it, or just eventually buy the little washer to stick back in there and turn it to a cassette all the time. Because I miss doing kickflips sometimes. Anyway, like as I was saying, I used to be a weight weenie, so I'm rocking tie bolts in there. It's got the female axle, and I have titanium pegs. Macniel titanium pegs, which are once again older than dirt. I wish somebody would make titanium pegs today because eventually these things are going to wear out. Since I pretty much only ride park with these pegs, I'm not too worried about tearing them up, but it would be nice to have a nice lightweight alternative. So bike companies, if you're out there watching this video, which you're probably not, make titanium pegs once again. Make titanium pegs great again. How about that? Wink. The rear tire on my bike is a Animal GLH, and the front is an Odyssey Path 2.4 possibly, maybe a 2.3. Thing's super grippy, and it works pretty well. It might not be a Path. I have no idea. Since I switched over to a left-hand drive on this bike, since I'm running pegs again, I had to get a new sprocket. I didn't have a bolt on the non-drive side of my bike to drive the sprocket there, so I went with a Haro Lineage 25 tooth sprocket. It's doing the job, 7075, so it's holding up pretty well. Thanks, Haro. I'm rocking Animal Rat Trap pedals. One of the reasons I like Animal pedals is they have those extra little nubs on there. A lot of the plastic pedals just don't have enough grip where they just have the pins, but the extra knurling on those Rat Trap really helps me feel like I'm sunk into the pedal and gripping up good. Except for one side on the right, because I do a lot of pedal grinds and there isn't much left on it. So I'm rocking classic 8-inch slam handlebars from the guys at S&M. And I've tried the bigger bars in the old days. I tried the small bars in the mid-school days. And I went for a pair of 9-inch bars recently on the last bike. But over time, I found that having those 9-inch bars really made it hard for me to do turndowns and tabletops. And if you're going to mess with my turndowns and tabletops, you're just not going to be a part of my life, because I love turndowns and tabletops. So I went ahead and put the slam bars back on there, and I can do turndowns and tabletops no problem once again. Wink. Well, thanks for checking out my bike with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you thought it was a rad bike or you think it's a stupid bike, leave some comments down below and let me know how you feel. The YouTube lords really are into what kind of interaction the channel's getting, so all the comments really do help. Give us a like and a subscribe, eat a donut, and stay rad.